Hey man, welcome back to Man Time. Today's episode, man, I was in here cleaning up in the barn-dominium, sweeping for hours and hours, trying to get all of the dirt, grime, stuff picked up from driving the tractor in and out of here, setting in the steel, and I figured there must be a better way. So I looked up industrial Roomba vacuum, and there was one vacuum that popped up. It was $3,500. I found something a little bit cheaper, just as good. It's from Japan. Welcome to Man Time. So if you just got your building and you're going through and doing some construction inside of there and quickly realize, like, the cleanup takes as much time as the job. Like if you're to, do a cleanup on a 6,000 square foot building at the end of each day, you're losing hours a day, right? So how much is your time worth? How much progress can you make by saving that 2 hours on things that are actually building the house inside the barn-dominium, which is happening here? If you like that type of stuff and want to see more of it, go ahead and subscribe. But I was looking for an industrial Roomba vacuum, and there was one vacuum that came up. It was a Makita. It was this huge white 30-plus pound machine, and it was $3,500. And I was like, there's no way. So I just kind of went on about life. And then the next day I came in, and I was doing the same thing, right? I was sweeping up again, and I was like, there's got to be a better way. So I started looking on YouTube for like Roomba reviews and things like that. They're all very, very small and not designed for a 6,000 square foot building. But there was one vacuum that was. It was the little brother to the white version with the special filtration, HEPA filtration, whatever it is. It's the lower grade blue one. So I got on to Amazon. They had it for, oh boy, $1,300, $1,200 on sale, something like that. It was $1,800 with 2 batteries and a charger, right? So I went and I found the cheapest one I could find. It's the same model number, the DRC200 DZSP. We're going to do an unboxing. I'm going to go through all the accessories that I got on the cheap and talk about this one here, which I got from Japan off of eBay for about half price. Let's get into this box and see what we got. Yeah, so it is getting very hot down here in the south, and having to go through and sweep up, after every time that I get done working, it's turning out to be a pretty large task. So yeah, I mean, I basically made the decision that my time and the amount of progress that I can make on the building is going to be well worth it. And I was almost ready to check out from, I don't know what that is. Well, the instructions aren't going to help me because they're in Japanese. But I was almost ready to check out, right? Because I don't have the Makita system. I don't have the batteries. I don't have anything that is going to help me, with the Makita system. So, I did find one video where somebody had reviewed this, and man, it just looks like a super solid unit. Let's get it on the bench here, or on the table. Wowza. Wowza. So anyways, I was just about to check out, and I was like, man, there's got to be a better way. I'm not paying $1,800 for 2 batteries. Well, the thing was, it was $1,200, without the batteries or anything. So it's like, well, how much are these batteries really that it's costing so dang much? And it turns out quite a lot. Really quite a lot. All right, so I'm already taking it apart. I guess we'll talk about it here as I'm going through it. But I decided there wasn't any way that I was going to pay that much money for this vacuum. And quickly going on to my favorite store, eBay, which is, everybody's store. They sell these factory brand new. I mean, you can see it's factory brand new from Japan directly. And that's what I ended up doing. This is from Japan. I saw it leave the port, arrive in Anchorage, Alaska. Wow. Look at this. My goodness. Okay, looks like the first thing I need to do is attach a couple of these wheels here. So let's do that. Oh yeah. Only fit one way. Perfect. I am going to need a Phillips head screwdriver. So let me get that, and we'll continue talking about the price and how I ended up getting this specific unit versus the Amazon unit. Oh man, yeah, already 100 degrees here in the south, wouldn't you know it. Not even June yet, but that is typical. And the worst part is the humidity. I'm already out here, you know, sweating, and it's not even summertime yet, really. But yeah, a pretty nice spring here this spring. Wasn't too bad. So I'm gonna have to get a bag or something to put all that stuff in. Anyways, all right. So I was on Amazon. I wasn't gonna pay $1,800 for the full system. I found, you know, of course, it was on sale for $1,200 plus, and I was like, no, that's not gonna work. So I get on eBay. I find you can get these for just under $650. I think mine was right about $629 or something from Japan. And if you wanted to get like a refurbished one or one that was used, you know, they were even cheaper. So ended up picking up a brand new one because I was like, you know what, buy once, cry once. I need a new one. Oh man, the rubber on these wheels is nice. And typically the Makita stuff from Japan is of a little bit better quality. I don't know if you've seen any of those videos where they break down, you know, stuff from USA versus Japan. But the ones from Japan are typically a little bit better. Here's the vision system right here. We've got more vision here and here, and back here some more vision stuff. But man, this just looks like a really good unit. Got the carry handle on it. Okay. So ordered it straight from Japan. It took about 2 weeks to get here. So I'm going through this. If you don't want to pay the outrageous, you know, USA prices for it, you can just get it from Japan. Now, a little bit of a problem here. It's in Japanese, right? So I'm going to have to kind of figure out what all these buttons do because they aren't in English. But maybe the manual is in multiple languages, like in the USA here. But it doesn't appear to be. Okay, well, we can figure this out together since you are probably watching this and just got your Japanese version because you aren't going to pay however much they wanted on Amazon. $1,800 to $1,200. So I got this from Japan, and then I was like, all right, the only battery charger I could find was the original Makita brand. And then I've seen, you know, on Project Farm, he does those videos about the comparisons for the fake batteries, and the fake Makita batteries kind of perform the worst. But there again, I wasn't going to pay. I think these things were almost $100 a piece. And if you wanted one with a charger, of course, it was more. These had a pretty good review, again, on Amazon. And they were very, very expensive from the store. So ended up getting this for about $650 shipped. I ended up getting all four of these for under $100, and then that was $60 or $70. So it was about $800 for this whole setup here with the knockoff batteries, the real Makita, but from Japan, and then the real charger. So I've got all these batteries charged up. Let's get this thing moving and see if we can't figure out what all these buttons do. I may be able to download a, yeah, all this stuff is in Japanese. Like, yeah, there's no English. There's no English on here. But let's put some batteries in it and then set it adrift on the shop floor here and see what happens. Man, this is cool though. Look at this thing. So here's the normal filtration. If you go and look and see the, wow. Yeah, there's the filter there. Man, this is good stuff. Oh. Oh, wow, just quality through and through. Yeah, that's a little pop-up. Man, good stuff. All right, let's get right in here and see what happens when I push the power button and put in batteries. Okay, we'll get up here nice and close. Now, a couple things. So I downloaded the manual. That's available off the Makita website, and I went through, and it shows kind of all the buttons and stuff like that, what they do and how it operates. But basically, you just turn it on. You have to set whether it goes in like a random pattern or like a grid pattern. Of course, for an open floor plan, I'm going to choose the grid pattern. There's also this button for an audible alert. That is going to be like in conjunction with the remote. If the thing is lost, you can hit that and it'll find itself. This one over here on the left is going to be a timer function. It's going to be, what did it say, 1 hour, 3 hours, and 5 hours. Yeah, 1, 3, and 5. So it'll automatically start after that amount of time ticks down, I guess, and then it just runs till the battery runs out. That's kind of how I read this. I don't know why that is, but that's kind of the deal with that. Beyond that, there's a fan. So this is actually the suction. It uses more battery faster, but it actually sucks the dust off of the ground versus just sweeping it. So I'm probably going to be using that at least for this first go around, because that's kind of what I need. And then over here is a sensor detector. So like one of the sensors had some sort of error or something. So that's what that one is. And then there's like hazard deals up here. There's a malfunction. It needs the brushes cleaned, or it needs the main kind of rotary brush cleaned. So I think that's pretty much it. Let's take it in and start it up and see how it does with the cheap batteries and no English instructions. Okay, well, moment of truth. We will see if the cheap Japanese version works or doesn't. I want to hit that. I've got full battery power. I do want the fan on. I want the audible on. Have fun, little buddy. See you later. Oh, you can see the path. Look at it go. See what happens when it hits the wall. See, there's little pieces of bolt, or the bolts are sticking out. Alright, man, well, there we have it, the Makita 200 D whatever vacuum, industrial vacuum. I'm just going to call it the industrial Roomba, because when I was looking for a solution to doing Roomba things in a big building, that's what I searched, so that'll be what hopefully you're looking for, and hopefully you found what you're looking for. A couple things there, it did very well. There are some screws sticking, through the metal. I think I'm going to go around with a cut-off wheel and cut off the ends of all those screws. So at least at the time being, this has the ability to get up to the wall and make that move without the screws kind of banging into it. Now, I didn't see any like real damage from the screws, just some little nicks, but it is very soft. I stuck my foot out and it came up to it and it like saw my foot before it even got there. Like it was slowing down, you know, as it was coming up, and then once it did hit it, like I didn't even feel it. There was a couple times there with the camera off where I just put my foot down to see what would happen, didn't move my foot, and it would just very gently and very lightly, like protecting itself. It's got this little bumper on the front of it, and it is very easy to activate that little bumper. Now, coming up to rugs and stuff like that, it does have the ability to kind of raise up. It's got either a front wheel or the back wheels go down or something, and it does have the ability to kind of raise up, go over a rug. The video that I saw, the guy put it through he like put it down his driveway and like over gravel, and it was working. I did want to say the batteries are not good. These batteries are pretty underpowered. This thing is supposed to have a 6,000 square foot vacuuming capacity, and like a 5 to 6 hour runtime. Now I think that's with the actual vacuum part of it off and just moving the wheels. With the vacuum part on there, it's probably going to decrease it, you know, by quite a bit, which is, you know, oh my goodness, look at all that dirt. Just from like 5 or 6 passes on there off of a freshly swept floor, it's got quite a bit in there. Let's see if we can show that to you here. Wow, wow, like a wow. Filter filled up with dirt, like both the small grain area. Wow. Let's get in here and see how much dirt this thing picked up. Okay, so just after a few passes, you can see how much dirt is in here, and this is just all like super fine dust, dirt type of stuff that the broom, you know, wouldn't sweep up. I swept every inch of the floor, and you could see a clean path behind this thing. This is going to be the finer stuff that, again, is caught by the filter. I can see I'm going to have to order another filter with some haste. And then under here is some of the larger stuff. Let's see if I can get it kind of closer. Yeah, I mean, just a ton of stuff, man. This thing is going to be sucking up spiders and anything that's on the ground. But man, that is incredible, the amount of dust and dirt it picked up just from that little exercise. Wow. Holy smokes. Can you believe how much dirt this thing picked up? It maybe made 6 passes on that floor, and that is incredible. I got to figure out how to get this filter out of here now. But yeah, any regrets buying it? No, absolutely not. This thing is awesome. It works awesome. It is factory new, again, with all the tags on there, the Makita paperwork, coming directly from Japan. This was the last one from the seller. I don't know if there was multiple on there from Japan, ranging from about $620 to $720, and then below $600 again for refurbished and stuff like that. But it came over very quickly. The shipping was free. So just like Amazon, I always find a better deal on eBay, pretty much regardless of what the product is, if you look hard enough, right, and know what you're looking for. So yeah, industrial Roomba doing its thing. Now there was one thing in there that I haven't got to in the instructions, but there was a roll of tape, and it was like a reflective tape. I think that sets a perimeter barrier for the thing, and I am going to want to get that set up in here until I clean up like this half of the shop, because I do have like hoses on the ground, cords, stuff like that. And then I also read that there's an 18 centimeter barrier, and I've got a car in here. It's probably lower than that. So this would maybe hit it, but I just don't want to get stuck underneath of it. And I guess I can do some trials there to see if, you know, it's going to work in a garage with cars, and what height the car has to be to either run into it where it'll back out or go all the way underneath of it. I'm assuming cars, it's pretty much not going to work, but maybe. So anyways, that was the industrial Roomba. Hope you enjoyed this stuff. If you did, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button. But whatever you do, get out there, have you some man time too.